Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at the Mega Greninja Dragapult deck that I've been sort of working on. I haven't really done many matches with this deck and I'm not sure how to feel about it. I think it's an interesting one, but I think my particular version is a bit more complicated than the versions that I've been seeing at least. So as per usual, in the description below there's usual links and of course the Discord should you wish to join it. There will, of course, be the timestamps for the video, which will be the deck list. And, of course, you know, the description will always have the deck list, as is per normal. Then, of course, we'll have the games that we'll play, and, of course, the outro and what I think of the deck. So, of course, we are taking a look at one of the new decks of the format, that being Mega Greninja. Now, this is a card that I'm not sure how to feel about it. I think it's got good, potential, but I will say this particular deck just feels like it misses Technical Machine Devolution. It's not a bad thing, because, the Mortal Shuriken, you can obviously chain them if, you can get them into play, and obviously Ninja Spinner as its attack is actually pretty okay as well. But, I don't know, I think my particular version is just missing a couple of things. I'm sure, someone in the comments will have a better version. I'm sure you will, but personally I just feel this version just doesn't have the legs. Pairing it with Pull is a good idea, but that means you have to play Neo Upper as your ace spec. I'm playing a couple of basic energy to help get the Pult set up a bit quicker. Same with the Greninja. It's something where I think a pure Greninja box with like Mega Absol would probably be better, because you can lean into the Claw of Darkness. You can obviously use the first attack, so obviously it pairs perfectly with Mortal Shuriken. I don't know, I think the Absol version might just be a little bit better. The only reason why you would not play the Absol version is because you don't really get a draw engine. But you can play the Dunsparce and just, farm with Risky Ruins and stuff like that. Maybe I'll look into that version in the future. Obviously, we already know that Pull is obviously in this deck. I'm not going to talk about Pull. I cover this card quite a lot. Well, I've covered this card quite a lot. But of course, Phantom Dive for 200 damage, put 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon any way you like. So if you set up multiple targets with Greninja, you can then Gust with the Pult, and obviously Phantom Dive take out multiple targets in one go. But like I said, I think, personally, pairing it with Pult I don't think is actually correct. I don't know if this is just me being a bit picky, but I feel that a Monkey Dory Mega Absol plus, the Risky Ruins and Monkey Dory, I think personally that would just be a bit more, better, because then you can play, the Dunsparce and stuff like that, and you get to play the Dunsparce EX as an attacker, but I don't know, it's something I'm going to probably look into. So, let's go to the deck list, and let's have a proper look. And welcome to the deck list. This has been a pretty interesting one to test, because obviously I've added a couple of basic energy to help, with Pult and everything. But what that also means is we get to play Clefairy, because we're playing Psychic Energy. That's why there's 2 Psychic, 1 Fire. It's only really meant to, give us the access to the Clefairy, mainly, because obviously Clefairy is quite key in a few matchups at the minute. And, we can actually buff Clefairy's damage with Mortal Shuriken, so it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, but I definitely feel like this list is... It's not perfect, I don't think. This is definitely not a perfect list, but, we'll figure it out as time goes on. And like I said, there is the, potential of playing Mega Greninja with Mega Absol, which I think, just personally, thinking about it, would probably be a better take, but that's either near hill there, but maybe I'll look into that in the future. So, of course, we're playing 3 Froakies, 2 Frogadiers, 3 Mega Greninjas, 3 Dreepies, 3 Daklooks, 2 Dragapults, 1 Clefairy, 1 Fez, 1 Meowth, 1 Latias, and 1 Bloodmoon. Bloodmoon's only really here because you don't really have a single riser that can, uptrade, because, I'd love to play like a Moltres, but then that means I have to play another Fire Energy, plus I have to play a Moltres, and this list is relatively tight, trying to get everything in that you need. Then, of course, 4 Lillies, 2 Boss, 2 Dawn, 2 Hilda, 1 Crispin, 4 Buddy, 2 Ultra Ball, 2 Rare Candy, 2 Night Stretchers, 2 Poké Pads, 1 of the new Special Red Cards. This is a really interesting card, but I personally think this card should not have been printed. I think it's a bit busted for, This is basically a almost online, well, it's pretty much a stamp that you can play as soon as your opponent hits 3 or lower like prize cards, and it doesn't even take your supporter. I'm not sure how to feel about this card, but I feel it's pretty cracked and really should have been balanced a bit better. Then, of course, 1 Energy Retrieval. This is mainly for the water energies. 2 Air Balloons, 2 Surfing Beaches. Obviously, these are mainly for the Greninjas, so that way we don't have to, you know, have Air Balloons on all the time. But, you know, you could probably cut the Air Balloon count to 1, because obviously we are playing Surfing Beaches. You could also play a Surfer instead of, like, 2 Air Balloon. Surfer would be a really nice card, because you can go, you know, if you start Bloodmoon, for example, you can go Surfer into, let's say, Dreepy or Drakloak or something, then obviously you can attack and stuff like that. Same with Surfing to Clefairy. If Clefairy's already got a Psychic on it, it just feels really good. So, you know, I think Surfer would not be a bad idea to think about in here. Then, of course, we have 6 Psychic, 6 Water, I should say, not Psychic, 2 Psychic, 1 Fire, and, of course, the Neo Upper Energy. Neo Upper is pretty versatile, because obviously it can go on the Bolt, which is mainly what you want to use it for. But you can use it for Greninja, because its attack is, you may put a Water Energy attached to this Pokemon to your hand, and have this attack do 18 more damage, which brings it up to 200. 200 isn't too relevant, but if you're obviously using Mortal Shuriken, you can go Mortal Shuriken, Boss, Ninja Spinner with, you know, Neo Upper Energy, put the Neo Upper back in your hand, and you'd be basically doing 260 for basically free, and you get your Neo Upper back. So, you know, it's not a bad attack. I think it's definitely got legs in terms of its attack and obviously the ability. But I think, like I said, I don't think Pult's the right answer, in my opinion at least. Because obviously Pult, you know, you do get your inbuilt drawn, and obviously you have an extra attacker. But you have that with the Dunsparce, and the Dunsparce covers a few more bases right now. But, I don't know, maybe something I'll look into. So, let's get into a match and see how we do. Welcome to our first game. I've not really played the ladder, and at the minute it is the UK heat wave that I'm sure some of you have been hearing about. It is, well, right now it's 20 past 10 at night, and I believe it's about 25 degrees. I'll double check. 23, and it's, well, according to my weather app, it's not going to be getting any cooler until about 3 in the morning, which, well, I hate this time of year, and I know that seems like I'm being a bit grumpy, but never really liked this time of year. It's one of those where, like, I'm a natural human radiator, because some people are like that, you know, they just generate body heat. I'm one of those people, and yeah, I'm melting right now. And, yeah, it's not the most fun, but I'll live with it. Not a bad start as well. We'll get a Buddy Poffin plus a Poké Pad, and we're going second. Yeah, we've got Hilda to obviously get some energy on the board, but that's fine by me. So let's see what we've got. We've got a Latias, Tilmaskogapon. See, this is where I'd love to have a Moltres, but again, that's something you have to add in, plus another fire, but you know, I tried to not go like too overboard with like techs and stuff, so that's sort of what I've done here. Okay, another Drakloak, we will definitely take that. So we will actually just grab a Dreepy and a Froakie. We have prized a Dreepy, which I'm not too worried about. We did top deck that second Drakloak as well. We've prized a Frogadier, and we've prized a Greninja. Not too worried about that. Prizer doesn't look too bad. Got the red card in there, we've got the Neo, and we've got all the energies in there, that's fine. So I'll play the Poké Pad now. I'm going to grab another Froakie, purely because I don't want them gusting the lone. I don't want them gusting the lone Froakie. And then for my energy, I'll probably just grab a Psychic. Then again, I don't really want to lean into the, you know, I don't really want to lean into the Greninja, well, the Dragapult side. I want this to actually be, you know, a Greninja video, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And like I said, we don't have to use the basic energies, you know, we don't have to use the Psychic or the Fire. They are just there as extra options. That's all it is. And like I said, I don't know what my opponent can do this turn, so I'm playing it safe. They're grabbing Serrano, so I'm smelling slot box, as people call it, which I don't know why we have to be childish when it comes to naming a deck, but well, that's just how some people are. I do think this Summoning Jutsu attack is also pretty good. You know, searching your deck for free Pokemon, put them into your hand. No, it's Bolt. Okay. Bolt could be tough. So they're going to give us the Kang. That's fine. Bolt's actually going to be pretty tough, because Bolt can, you know, it needs 5 energy to take out a Greninja, but it can definitely do that. We don't have our Latias neither, and obviously Fez is a Dark type, so Surfing Beach doesn't really come into play. So we'll go you, and we'll go Recon, see what we get off the Recon. There's Latias, okay. I could go into Frogadier, but it's like, do I really want to do that right now? But I think, purely based on that, you know, I think it's okay, because he's not really doing a lot. But then if he Crispins, he has a lot better in terms of his, you know, strategy. So I'm actually going to take the Psychic Energy. I'll bench Clefairy, actually. And I'll attach the Psychic to Clefairy, and I'll pass. Because if they come in with Bolt, I have at least, you know... If they kill Fez, that's completely fine. If they go for Clefairy, again, completely fine, because then I get Fez plus Drakloak draw. I'm not particularly worried right now. You know, like, they could easily have Crispin and stuff like that, but, again, that's all well and good, but they're not really doing a lot outside of that, other than drawing cards with Kang. Okay, there's a Psychic of their own, so they have their own Clefairy, which I need to be careful of. That's good to know. Some Bolts have been playing Crispin, well, not Crispin, Clefairy, and I think I've done a build on Bolt. Obviously, I've not really been, you know, into the TCG as of late, because I've just been taking a nice break from it, to be honest, and it's just felt good to do so. So he's got a Teal Dance. He's attached it to the Kang, but you've already attached this for turn. I was going to say, you've got to have Energy Switch. Why are you attacking with Kang? That's what I want to know. I don't know why you're attacking with Kang here. That just feels pretty bad. You know, I don't really see what you're trying to accomplish here. I would like a Lillie's. Okay, there's an Area 0, so they can expand their bench. There's a Wellspring, so they're going to threaten that as well. There's Clefairy. Rapid Fire combo. And they don't get a heads. That is good. It seems they wanted that heads, but that's completely fine. There's an Ultra Ball. Okay, well that means we can grab Meowth and start doing stuff. But then we don't have a... But then again, no, we do. Do we have a pivot? No. Oh, this is tricky. So I'm going to go into the Mega Greninja. Do I Ultra Ball from Meowth is what I'm thinking here, but then I don't have anything. But then again, if I get a Pole, I can then open up with Area 0, so I think this is the right call. So we'll grab our Meowth. We'll go Meowth and Last Ditch Catch. That's kind of why I put a Meowth in the list, to be honest. So then we'll go Lillies. And then we'll go for Lillies. Okay, we did not get a Pult, which is a problem. Let's go for a Recon. There's a Dawn. It's a bit late for you, love, I'm afraid. See, we didn't really get a lot off of that. I mean, I can attach to the Fez, retreat the Fez, which is okay, but then my Greninja's just sitting there. I think for now, I'll just give them the Froakie. If I'd have known this is Bolt and they were playing it quite slowly, I wouldn't have put down this second Froakie, but hey, you live and learn, I guess. It's not a big deal. We can take out this Kang. It's just going to be... We're going to need a lot. And giving them this Froakie means we can't take out Kang. But then again, they have their stadiums. So we might be okay here. We could possibly do it, because we could go... Well, then again, hold on. So Greninja does 200, right? Plus the 60. Oh, are they going to go for a Wellspring? Do they have the resources for that? If they do, that kind of sucks, but we can respond to this. They're going to go Last Ditch Catch. They're probably going to grab a Crispin. Do they have water? They need a... I don't think they price checked their water energy. But no matter what, they bloody got it, and then they're going to go Froakie, Fez, and take 3 prizes. But then we can respond on the Wellspring and take most of their energy out of play, so I think that's okay. I think that's completely fine, because we can Night Stretcher back the Fez. There's a grass. Do they have the water? I'm hoping they don't, and they do. Shit. That's the polite way of putting it, is shit. Because they're going to take 3 prizes here. And then all they need to do is kill my Greninja for game. Yeah, they're going to go Torrential Pump. They could take out Drakloak as well, but that'd be kind of dumb. They have to take out Fez here. And yeah, there goes Fez. Okay. This is going to get a bit dicey then. But it does mean we get to use Greninja, which is pretty nice. So we will promote the ninja himself. I noticed a bit of lag when that ability thingy came on then, but we'll gloss over that. So let's go for a recon first. Lillie's determination, Air Balloon. Air Balloon's handy. I will say that much. Let's think. So, what did we have in deck? Let's go for a Buddy Poffin and check the deck. Did I have my basic Psychic and Fire in there? I do. Ooh, hold on. Could we do Pult this turn? No. I mean, we could Night Stretcher back the Water Energy, but, you know, I'm not really sure what to do here. I'll definitely Air Balloon the Drakloak, just so we have that option. Because I've got a water in there. I'm just trying to think what to do here. I can Night Stretcher back Fez, and I think that's fine. So we'll do that. So then we will Fez for 3. Okay, Neo up is good, but we don't get what we need. I can Energy Retrieval that 1 energy back, but it's like, that feels rough. But I think I have to. And then I just retreat the Greninja into a Pole. I think that's what I have to do here. As painful as it is, but we get to use Mortal Shuriken at the very least. So, since we're going to be attacking with Pult this turn, because we can Dawn and then Neo Upper, I think it makes sense to put the 6 on the Bolt. I think, because that would make sense. But then if I put it on the Wellspring, I still get to take a knockout. And yeah, that was a bit of lag. Thanks, game. So then I go for Dawn. Grab Pult, Drakloak. I can bench another Dreepy now at the very least as well. So we'll do that. We'll go Pult. That expands my bench a little bit as well. We'll go Neo Upper. I can bench Bloodmoon now. Free retreat. Well, I say free retreat. Retreat off the water. Into the Pult. Bench the Latias. And then we'll Phantom Dive for 200. Go... Do I just go all 6 on the Kang? Then again, 4 on the Kang would mean I can just go, you know, Ninja... Or Greninja's ability. So I think that's fine. 1 here, 1 here. Because then either way, we're setting up with Kang, so it's fine. But yeah, this is looking great, I will say. This is looking great. But we have Bloodmoon, so if he does take 2 prizes here, it's completely fine. Because we can just go Bloodmoon into the Kang with a, you know, a Mortal Shuriken. So I'm not too worried, but I am worried about that Clefairy. That's the main thing. I don't really want to be dealing with Clefairy right now, but I might not have a choice. Another Meowth. Do they have Crispin for their... I'm assuming they're going to have Crispin. Yeah, they've got the Crispin. Sugar. Are you playing double Psychic? Then again, no, they put it back in the deck earlier with Wellspring. This is not very good. I mean, I can, like I said, I can go in with Bloodmoon, take out the Clefairy, hopefully dig to find Seeking Red Card, well, Perfect Red Card, and just hope I can hand disrupt them out of the game. But yeah, this isn't looking very good, I will say. But yeah, I think this deck is, you know, it's got problems, and I think that's what kind of holds this deck back. It struggles a little bit sometimes. I just think, you know, oh, they're playing double Psychic. Oh, they really tech for me, didn't they? Well, they can go for a Teal Lens now. So then after they take out this Pole, all they need is Boss for, like, Dreepy or anything. This is not good. There's Fez, so they have even more draw, even if I do manage to drop a red card on them. Oh boy, this guy's really making me work for this And I don't think I can win from here, because he's going to go Clefairy. He has to go Clefairy. But then I go Bloodmoon for no energy and just hope for the best. But, yeah. If he has Boss plus energy, he wins with Kang, so... You know, there's not really a lot I can do here. There's Ultra Ball. Iron Crown? What the hell's this in there for? Is that for Iron Leaves to do like 20 extra? Because then you can take a Mega... Well, no, that doesn't even make any sense. No, that'd be for Garchomp. That'd be for Garchomp. But there we go. 4-move Rondo for 640. And take out my Dragapult. And of course, there goes my Area 0 allowance, because, well, we don't have it anymore. So, we need to get rid of 2 bench Pokemon. So, it makes sense to get rid of our liabilities, which is Clefairy and, of course, the Meowth. There's a good reason why. So now, we go Bloodmoon. We need to dig. We need to dig for that Pika Red Card, or whatever the hell it's called. So I'm going to bomb their stadium first. See what we can do there. Okay, they get rid of a bunch of their liabilities, but that's fine. So now we can go Drakloak. Do we want to grab Meowth to guarantee a boss? But then again, that doesn't really save us. So let's go for Recon. Okay, Air Balloon's nice. But we don't need it right now. Fez for 3. There's a load of waters. Ooh. Ooh. Hold on. No, we can't do that. That's too many actions in one turn. This is tricky. Because I can't dig my way out. And if he has Boss plus Kang, we just lose. And he's not played a single Ghosting card. Let's just play the Night Stretcher. Do I just go for Meowth? But Meowth doesn't really help me here, that's the problem. I'm just going to grab Meowth out the discard pile. Maybe he'll think I'm bluffing or something, I'm not sure. Air Balloon to Greninja. I wish I'd have promoted Greninja first, and then this could have been a much better turn, but I wasn't to know. I'm just going to attach the Greninja. I'm just going to swing with Bloodmoon. Not really a lot I can do here, and it's highly likely they have Gust. Yeah, this has not gone well. That's the issue with this list that I've been having, and judging by that immediate promotion, they 100% have it. That's what I've been noticing about this build. It just feels a little too slow. There's no way you don't have it with 14 cards in hand, now 17. There is no way you do not have this. Because if he doesn't have the attack here, do we have game? No. Not right now. Cypher Maniac is Prime Catcher your Ace Spec. That's the only reason I can think of. But you know, we've had a decently long game here, but you know, he's gonna go Kang probably for Prime Catcher, I would assume, and take out my Drakloak for game. Prime plus Grass and go for Drakloak. Energy Switch, okay. He's going Bolt. Oh, he's got the attachment for Bolt. Yeah, that's it then. He's just BMing. We will just concede and go to a game 2. And welcome back to game 2. That was quite an unfortunate loss there to Raging Bolt. Had I known that they weren't going to be that aggressive in the early game, I would have gotten second Dreepy. I think that definitely did bite us in the backside. But yeah, we didn't really have many answers in there. And obviously that's why I kind of put the Bloodmoon in, because Bloodmoon's just kind of key in this deck, I think. But yeah, I must admit, I'm not liking this deck. I don't think it's an issue of, you know, this deck is, like, bad. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just trying to do, you know, like, too much. Which, you know, that's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, it's definitely a case of, you know, this deck is trying to do a bit too much, and I think that's what's holding it back. But still, and I'm getting a bit of deja vu, because this feels like a very similar opening hand to what we had last time. And we have a mulligan. What we facing? A Meganium deck with Cypher Maniac, interestingly enough. Not something I was expecting, but hey, we'll take it. We do at least have Dawn to get us started with a setup, and obviously Poké Pad as well. And we do get that mulligan as well. There's a Hilda. Again, this is deja vu. I am getting severe deja vu. But having Mega Greninja in this matchup will actually help us, because we can, you know, we can go 6 onto a Teal Mask and then Phantom Dive and put damage on the extra Teal Mask and stuff. But yeah, this feels okay. I think it's okay at least, but we'll soon find out. There's a Poké Pad of their own. They're grabbing a Chikorita. That's fine. Teal Dance again. So they're getting some energy on the board, but that's completely fine. Like I said, the main reason for the basic energy is just so we have extra options in the matchup. It's not a case of, you know, I'm putting it in for the sake of it, but, you know, some people might think that. So let's go Dreepy. We'll go Frogadier. And we go for Pulse. Let's do a quick prize check whilst we're here. We have got a Greninja in the prize cards. We're not too worried about that. We've got a Lillies as well in the prize cards, but that's not too bad. There's our red card, and there's our new upper. We've got the other basic energies in deck as well, so that's good. So we'll go for the Poké Pad and grab ourselves a Froakie. So we'll go Dreepy, Froakie. Do I want to attach to this Fez? I don't think it's a bad thing to do that, but I would rather attach to the Froakie. And then we'll pass. They didn't bench the Chikorita for some reason, but I suppose it's not, you know, it's not a bad thing, because, like I said, they could just go Forest, bench Chikorita, go into Bailey, but go into Meganium. It doesn't really bother them, it just, you know, it protects the Chikorita, and then you can just go straight into Meganium like they've just done there. So I think that's correct for my opponent there. That's pretty reasonable, you know? It's a pretty reasonable play given, you know, what's going off. But, you know, that's just something to think about. But obviously we have access to Hilda plus Neo Upper in this matchup, so that will definitely be beneficial for us. And they just pass. Interesting. I could go for summoning Jutsu, but I don't think that's a good idea. Let's go for a recon. Dawn and Air Balloon. I do like the Dawn here. That is pretty good. So let's go for Dawn. We'll go... Do we just go Dreepy, Drakloak, and then another pole? I think that's fine. But then again, Latias means I don't have to commit an Air Balloon. So we'll go with Latias. We'll go... Do I have another way of getting a basic down? No. So I don't think I need to grab Latias here. I think I just go Dreepy, Drakloak, and I'll go second Mega Greninja just to thin them out the deck. I think that's fine. So then I will go attach to Fez, and I will pass. They're not really doing a lot, so I'm not really afraid of them right here. Plus, it means we get to use Greninja's attack, which is always nice. We do need a bit more, though. We need an extra water energy to do that. They're going to boss. They're going to bring up a Dreepy. Are you trying to stall me? It seems so. Yeah, they are bricking, it would seem. So let's go for a recon. There's a water energy. I'll attack this turn, annoyingly. In fact, no. Could I? No. I need to attach Retreat, and I need to Hilda as well. Then again, no, I could go with Pult now, but it's like, Pult doesn't really solve anything here, because then I have to retreat the Neo Upper, which feels kind of bad. Let's evolve Drakloak. See if we get something else off the recon, maybe an Air Balloon. The Surfing Beach, that doesn't really help us. The Meowth would. We could get a Lillies and get a Fresh Hand, but not really do a lot outside of that. I'll take the cat. The cat could at least help. I don't really want to go with Pult, but, like, I could, but it's like, I don't know. I think I just pass here. I just attach to Frogadier, evolve it to the Mega, and I just pass. I don't think I don't need to do anything here. Because I can go attach water, retreat to Drakloak, go in Mega Greninja, Night Stretcher back that, and then we can go from there. I'm not particularly worried here. You know, they can take out my Drakloak for all I care. I'm not too worried. Let's see what they do. There's a cat. And not the cats that I see locally, at least. Meowth's very much not the sort of cat that I see locally. That does mean they get out of their dead hand, because their hand has been pretty dead so far. But what this does mean is we can get started with the Mega Greninja attack. And we can use... Ooh, that's nice to see. I do like seeing an Applin. We could do that, most definitely. I might want to set up another Froakie then if they're going to start having, you know, Applins down and stuff like that. That might be useful. Are they then playing Hydrapple as part of their deck? Yeah, they've got Hydrapple. Okay, that's something to be concerned about. He's going to retreat. He's going to go into the apple. Okay. So, in that case, would it not make sense for me, once I lose this Drakloak, would it not make sense for me to go Mortal Shuriken onto one of their support Pokemon? But then again, no, I can get Hydrapple close to death with just Phantom Knife plus Thingamabob. So I think it's okay. And yeah, Syrup Storm 270, so they are doing a buttload of damage. We need to take out preferably this Teal Mask over here. But we need to dig for a Gustin card. I could even take out Meganium, but it's like that affects my prize mount quite a bit, so I don't really want to do that. So let's go for a Buddy Poffin, and we'll grab these boys out. Then we'll go Fez for 3. So know that energy is stuck on that Fez for a while, but that's fine. I can live with that. We do have Meowth for Gust, so I'm going to take the Lilies for later. Because I think what we need to do is we need to take out this Teal Mask, because then we can, you know, limit his options, because he's doing 270 right now. So what I think we do is we go Meowth, Last Ditch Catch, we'll go for yes, obviously. Grab ourselves a boss. So then we'll boss this Teal Mask. Mortal Shuriken it, because obviously we have to in order to knock it out. Then, do I have an energy in here? No, just the water energy from earlier. I can bump their stadium, which doesn't really affect them too much, but that's neither here nor there. And then we will Ninja Spinner for 120, and we will do extra damage. That takes out the Teal Mask. Now, I can potentially still hit up to Mega Greninja, but now we have a little bit more choice with what we go for. Because if we are managing, if we can get 2 Mega Greninja abilities off, which we could, and are able to find that Neo Upper Energy, we could go, you know, double Mortal Shuriken to the Meganium, boss the Meowth, and take 3 prizes, take out their, basically their engine, plus we take out a support Pokemon. I think we've got a strategy there, but, you know, they can draw out of this, and yeah, they've got the Stamp, that's bad. The Stamp here sucks. And so does that draw off of it. Ooh. Ooh, that's bad. And he even got the bug catching set off the unfair Stamp. Are you kidding me, man? Like, bruh. This guy's drawn the nuts off of this. And this is where I would love to play a second 5 plus a Moltres, but again, that's why I'm saying this deck's trying to do too much. But, you know, he can't hit a knockout, I don't think. Because it's 30 for each extra energy on it. So, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210. So if he gets another energy down on the board, that's 270. So he can't knock me out, which is good. But it still sucks for us, because we don't really have an attack next turn. Unless we get Hilda, which, fat chance of finding that out of 34 cards. Lana's Aid. Okay. Ramming back even more grass energy. Wait, can he get there with Hydrapple plus Turn Attach? I think he can, actually. Ooh, I think he can get there, folks. Oh, that's bad. If he can, that's really bad. I think he can. I think he might hit 330 unless he really attaches. I think he's got there. I think that's 390. I think. I'm not the best with math when it comes to this deck. Yeah, 390. I just take out the Greninja. Shoot. This is bad. That's a 3-prize turn for him. That is really bad. I'll just give him the Dreepy. This sucks. That stamp was horrid. There's a boss, but that doesn't really help us right now. Let's go for the Fez, because we get a guaranteed 3. There's Special Red Card. We're going to play that this turn. Okay, there's Water Energy. Not really helpful right now, I must admit. I think we just go a touch here. Air Balloon, the Frog. Special Red Card. Then, I think I boss Meganium, but then again, that kind of doesn't solve anything. And obviously with my 1 Fire Energy being committed here, Crispin's a dead card now. Do I just pass here? I think so. It's my only choice here. And even then, even if we do get something established, yeah, he's got boss. That's game. Yeah, this deck just feels like it's trying to do too much for this build that I've gone with, and, you know, when you're facing a deck where you don't really have type advantage against it, it really gets tricky, and I don't think this deck is what, you know, I don't think this is what I would personally play if I was going to play Greninja, but still. I will definitely take a look at the Dunsparce variant with Mega Absol. I don't know about you, but I just think that variant would be a bit more consistent. Because then you're pinging, you know, Risky Ruins. You're getting Monkey Dory value as well, because we couldn't put monkeys in this list. Obviously, you're getting the instant knockout of Mega Absol, which, excuse me, you would have to obviously play Enhanced Hammers, but, you know, you can definitely do that. But yeah, I just feel that this particular build isn't there, in my opinion. I have seen a couple of Greninja Pults, but I don't think it's the right answer. So, what did I think to the deck? Well, if those games didn't demonstrate what I meant about this list not feeling correct, I think you get what I mean. This just doesn't feel right, you know. I've played a lot of decks in my time, and obviously I've played a lot of decks on the channel, as you already know. Obviously switching up playstyles and, you know, how the decks work and stuff like that. But I don't know, this deck just doesn't feel right. It feels like it's trying to do a bit too much, and I think that's what's holding it back. I think if you just go a simplified route, so like I said earlier, the Dunsparce with the Dunsparce EX as a backup attacker as well, you then can play at least 2 copies of Mega Absol, because obviously that you would need that to benefit, and plus, unlike Pult, it's a basic Pokemon. Yes, you don't have a built-in draw with, you know, Absol being a basic Pokemon, but then you play the Dunsparces, you play Poffins to get out your Froakies anyway, and then you could just play that to get out your, you know, your Dunsparces. You could even play a fun Rotom if you wanted a cheeky one-of attacker, just to, you know, get you started whilst you're waiting to get set up and everything. Play at least 2 candies, and then Bob's your uncle, pretty much. You know, you get to play Monkey Dories, you get to play Darks as well. You could even play a one-off Psychic just to help with Monkey Dory. You could even add in, you know, Clefairy if you wanted an answer to Pult and, you know, Lucario. I just think that sort of approach is probably the best way to play Mega Greninja. I think trying to play Pult, and especially trying to incorporate a couple of basic energy just to get it going a bit quicker, I don't think that's the right way. And I think, on reflection, I should have just stuck to my gut and did the Dunsparce variant, but, well, I wanted to play the Pult version, but I kind of regret it now. But anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing Mega Greninja with the Dragapult package, and I'll see you next time.